warm welcome, everyone. I am David Elsnamothekari, and I will be your host for today's Monday Live. So, recently, a lot of things have been unfolding regarding certain visas, and this got people very anxious and worried about the situation. So, understanding the gravity of this situation, we have decided that today's topic would be rather very important and a different one. So, today's topic is centered around securing approval for the US B1 and B2 visa, otherwise known as the Business and Tourism visa. And regarding this, a lot of insights and expert opinion can be shared by our honorable guest, Mr. Raju Mahajan. So, Mr. Mahajan, hope you're doing well.
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for inviting me this morning. And I know that there's a lot of confusion among folks about different kind of visa because of the latest development in. Hold on, give me 1 minute. Yeah, but recently there's a news about 75 countries being target of um, indefinite pause for immigrant visa. So let me talk about that a little bit, and then I'm going to this B1, B2. But before that, how do I? Oh, so can I share screen in because my slides is in Canva. How do I show that? Hmm. To present. Let me try to. Can I download it? Yeah, our take. Do you have access to my presentation today?
Okay, Mr. Mahajan, I'm contacting them to see if they have.
Yeah, exactly. And if they have, please ask them to upload it here in this so that I can show that here. Okay. All right. So many of you already know that. Recently, U.S. Department of State they issued an order regarding pause for immigrant visa processing from 75 countries. It's a long list of countries. I'm not reading all of those things, all of the name of the countries. However, if you are from one of those countries, just remember that they are pausing for immigrant visa. They are not pausing for non-immigrant visa. In US immigration, there's two major categories of visa. One is immigrant visa, another one is non-immigrant visa. So immigrant visa is when you get green card and come to America to get the actual green card, the physical plastic card. In that case, it is immigrant visa. But if you apply for non-immigrant visa like B1, B2, visit visa, tourist visa, student visa, H1B, O1, L, P, all these categories, you have nothing to worry about because they are not pausing issuance visa in those categories. So, for example, today we are talking about um, B1, B2, right? Talking about visit visa. So, visit visa is not subject to any kind of restriction under this new order. So, you're good to go. So that being said, now I'm going to talk about B1, B2 visa, visit visa, and this is one of the most commonly used visa to come to America. And every year, literally like millions of people from all over the world, they apply for visit visa for definitely for different purposes, and also many of them they get approved. Of course, many of them they do not get approved because if millions of people they apply for visit visa, they are kind of of course a lot of people will get rejected too. And let's say that the World Cup is coming up very soon. So because of this soccer World Cup, football World Cup, a lot of people they will apply for B1, B2 visit visa. They will come to watch games, and once their purpose of visit is over, they will definitely go back to their home country. So this is a classic example. Now the question is, what are the common reason to show what is most effective to get B1, B2 visa? So in my opinion, I tell my clients, like, if you have connection with with your background and the purpose, that's always better. For example, let's say you're a doctor, you're a medical doctor, you're coming for a medical conference, that is always better. In that case, you have a better chance of getting visa approval because you are coming here for a purpose that is aligned with your background. On the other hand, let's say you are a doctor, Of course, on the side of being a doctor, you have a passion for photography, and if you say that I'm going to America to do some passion photography, like you really like a natural beauty or something, you're coming here to shoot some photo shoot, which is good, which is not a bad thing, but you have a less chance of getting approved because it does not go with your background. So if you can show a reason that has more connection with your background and has a potential to get some sort of benefit, professional benefit, then you have a better chance of getting approved. On the other hand, if you are a professional photographer and then you are coming to America for a photographic conference, or let's say you are taking picture in like a Christmas or some other thing, then you have a better chance. So the bottom line about this topic is, if you can show some sort of connection with your B1 B2 application with your background, then you have a better chance of getting approval. All right, our PowerPoint is ready. Let's directly go there. So the first slide, I'm understanding B1 B2 visa. What is B1? B1 is a business visitor. B2 is a tourist visitor. So for B1, attending meetings, conferences, negotiations, participating in short-term business activities. B2 is for tourist visa, tourism and leisure travel, visiting relatives and friends, medical treatment, social visits, all those are connected to visit visa. Why B1, B2 visas are often refused? This is a common question I get all the time. My clients want to know, hey, what are the reasons people get rejected or refused for B1, B2 visa? So refusals are common but usually avoidable. Main refusal grounds are: number one, Section 214B. You'll get a number get ticked in your refusal notice. 214B, insufficient proof of non-immigrant intent. This is a big deal, and many people they fail to understand what non-immigrant intent is. In the beginning of this presentation, I was talking about two major categories: immigrant visa, non-immigrant visa. So the difference between these two is the intent, why you're coming to America. If your purpose to come to America is non-immigrant, meaning you're coming here for a short visit and going back to your home country, that is a non-immigrant intent. But if your purpose is to stay here permanently, that's the immigrant intent. So Section 214B says that you have insufficient proof. So how do you prove your intent? That's a really big question, and I'm going to talk more about next slides. But just remember that you have to establish two things. Number one, why you're going to America. You have to show a good purpose. And number two, tie with your country, what you're doing in your home country. These two are the main elements for non-immigrant intent. So if you can answer those two things properly, then you can avoid this 214B non-immigrant intent related refusal. And Section 221G, administrative processing or missing information. Well, administrative processing is a very vague term. It's very hard to define what administrative processing is, but missing information we can definitely understand. Like when you applied for B1, B2 application, you were supposed to submit a lot of information, documents, everything, and you did not submit enough information, enough documents. So that is a really important thing for your B1, B2 application. All right, leading causes of B1, B2 visa refusal. Weak ties to your home country. This is really important. What is the tie with your home country? Like, are you a job holder? Do you have a job? What is the job? How much salary you make? Is it a good job? You make enough money? That's good for your B1, B2 approval. How, on the other hand, if you have like not so good job, you do not make enough money, you're kind of in the bottom, like entry level kind of position, you have a less chance of getting B1, B2 visa approval. Vague or inconsistent travel purposes, as I explained earlier. So let's say you are saying that I'm going to see New York City, Los Angeles, Grand Canyon, Niagara Falls, all the beautiful places, but you never visited any other country. Most likely your visa application will not be approved because it does not go with your consistency, right? So try your best to show a cause, a reason for travel that is consistent with your background. If it is consistent with background, you have a better chance of getting approval. limited financial evidences. So if you do not make enough money, if you do not have a lot of financial abilities, you may not get visa approval. Because to be honest, the purpose of US government giving you a B1B2 visa is so that you can come to America, spend some money, and American economy will be benefited. So if you do not have money, most likely you will be a burden to American government, right? So that is one reason why a lot of visa gets refused. Previous immigration violations, that's a very common issue in many parts of this world. People do not understand that when they submit application to US government, they keep record of everything. Even 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you submitted a fake information, fake document, US government has it, right? So when you submit a new application with the information that does not match with your previous application, or you previously violated something, that is going to haunt you for the rest of your life. That's why I always tell my clients, please, please, please do not submit any information or documents that you are not 100% sure about. That may cause you more trouble down the line. So please be careful. Sorry for this cough, it's because of the winter. Errors or inconsistencies in the DS-160 form. Yeah, you'll always have to be serious about filling up this form. Nervous, unclear, or contradictory interview answers. When you go for interview, when officer asks you questions, try not to be nervous. There's nothing to be nervous about. Worst case scenario, they're going to refuse your visa. That's okay. You'll keep doing whatever you are doing. Do not answer any unclear answer or contradictory. That is even worse. Contradictory answer with your paperwork or previous interview. Please do not do that. Missing paper documentation of sponsorship, financial or financial ability, unclear itinerary plans. Unclear itinerary plans is another thing. A lot of people they say that, oh, I'm going to stay with my friends or family. I discourage them to say that because, as I said, that the purpose of B1 B2 visa for US government is to make money. So try your best to show them you are going to spend money here in America. That will be good for America. So try your best to book a hotel and show them the hotel reservation documents. Make some plan that shows that you're going to spend some money here in America that is going to be beneficial for American economy. So if you have a very clear itinerary about when you're going, where you're staying, what you're going to do when you come back, very concrete plan will be good for you down the line, and also getting visa approved. Key ways to strengthen your application. This is really important. Demonstrate strong ties to your home country. Show that you are doing a work or business, you have properties, you're involved with social organizations, you're involved with political organization or anything. The more ties you have with your home country, the better you are in B1 B2 approval. Present a clear, credible reason for travel, of course. Show adequate financial capacity, otherwise, most likely you're not going to get visa. Avoid providing unnecessary or excessive documents. Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of people, they submit like a big pile of papers. You do not need to submit all these things, unnecessary things. Just be precise, just be to the point, just submit the document and information they are asking for. Ensure total consistency in forms, documents, and interview responses. Book hotel for staying, as I said. Obtain a conference invitation or any other relevant business or tourism related invitation letter to support your travel purpose. What counts as a strong ties with your home country? Good one, right? Economic ties, stable employment, business ownership, social community ties, property ownership, community involvement, family ties, dependents, immediate family remaining at home, educational ties, ongoing academic commitments. Those are good for your B1 B2 application. Presenting a clear purpose and realistic itinerary. That is another important one. Provide a specific, credible purpose. Clearly explain why you are visiting. Avoid a vague term like business meeting or tourism. Ensure your purpose aligns with your background and supporting documents. Prepare a simple, realistic itinerary. Include travel dates, staying locations, destinations, and planned activities. For B1, mention event, name, duration, host, and your role. For B2, outline sightseeing plans, family visits, or medical schedules. Keep it brief, believable, and financially reasonable. So those are really key for approval. Financial preparedness. This is important. Demonstrate ability to cover travel costs. Bring bank statements, salary slips, tax returns. This is optional, but I highly recommend it. Avoid sudden or unexplained deposits. Like for example, let's say in last 5 years you only have 50,000 or 60,000 or a small amount of money was deposited in your bank account, but in last 2 weeks there's like millions of currencies being deposited in your bank account. Then US CS officers, embassy officers, they may ask like, where did this money come from, right? So do not do any sudden deposit or anything. Try your best to make consistency. If someone else is funding the trip, be ready to explain the arrangement. It may happen like your friends or family may pay for you, but you have to explain why he or she is paying, how much, in what capacity, everything. Be honest and clear, you have a better chance. Interview tips for success: dress professionally and arrive early, of course. And professional doesn't need to be like a suit tie kind of thing. Whatever you feel comfortable, whatever the professional dress in your country, just follow it, but dress properly and arrive early. Be clear, concise, and confident in your interview. Understand your travel purpose thoroughly. Avoid memorizing or overly long responses. This is one of the common reason people get denied. Like when officer asks you question, you answer in a way that it shows that you just memorized those answer. It's not good for you. And also, please do not talk a lot. Just be concise, be to the point, answer only what they're asking for. If you want to give them information, you can tell them, hey, I have information about this, can I tell you? And most likely they will say yes. Then you tell them. Do not give them any information that they're not asking for. That is not good for you. Always provide honest and consistent answer. That is like the most important thing in your Beyond Vita application. Latest update of visa bond program. Many of you know that recently Department of State, they started a pilot project about visa bonds. So this is the latest update. The US has implemented a pilot program requiring visa bonds for certain non-immigrant visa applicants from specific countries. The consular officer will determine the amount of immigrant bond. It can be 5,000, 10,000, 50,000, and provide the payment instruction during visa interview. Please do not make the payment before the interview. After the interview, officer is going to give you a link, and following the link, you are submitting the payment. Please do not pay anything upfront, anything. Just wait for the interview and wait. Officer may not give you any bond. Officer may you directly approve your B1 or B2 application with a 5 years multiple entry. There's no problem with that. But if they they talk about bond, if they issue a bond, only then you pay, right? Just wait for the officer to make the decision. It applies for the passport holder of mentioned 38 countries, including Bangladesh, regardless of place of application. So and these 38 countries, I'm not reading the name. If you just Google it, you'll find it. But let's say you are a citizen of Bangladesh, and let's say you live in Dubai. Dubai, like UAE, is not in this list. Are you being subject to this bond? Yes, because even though you live in Dubai, you have a Emirati permanent residency, but since you are the citizen of Bangladesh, you will be subject to this bond. A lot of people, they may have dual citizenship. Let's say you are a British citizen and a Bangladeshi citizen. UK is definitely not in this list, but Bangladesh is. Are you going to be subject to this program? Most likely, yes. Please ask the officer. Officer may tell you whether you are subject to this or not. So it depends on the situation. In legal world, nothing is like, yes or no. There's a lot of gray areas in legal world. Agreement that you won't overstay or change immigrant status. That's the agreement. Acknowledgement of when the bond is forfeited. Requires part of port of entry exit 9 airports in total. Initially it was 3, and then later they changed it to 9. Please double check. So another information, everything is subject to change any last moment. So before you travel, please double check everything, and then you travel to avoid unpleasant circumstances. So required port of entries. This is the latest update. So these are the port of entries. Boston Logan International Airport, Boston, JFK Airport, New York, Washington, Dallas. In Washington D.C. By the way, Dallas is a city in Texas. when people say Washington Dulles, and the spelling Dulles, but here they pronounce in Dallas. It's not the city of Texas. It's in Washington D.C., the federal capital of United States. Newark Liberty International Airport. It's in New Jersey. Hartfield Jackson Atlanta Airport, Chicago Airport, Los Angeles Airport, Toronto Pearson International Airport. So even though it's in Canada, but a lot of American tourists, so let's say if you want to go to Minnesota or Wyoming, Idaho, many of them, they first go to Toronto Pearson Airport, and then from there they take the domestic airport plane. So if you go to Toronto, Canada, to visit America, you may do that. And finally, Montreal Airport in Canada. So those are the airports allowed. It may change, this is, please follow. Also, conditions under which the bond is automatically refunded. Visa or entry denial. So if visa is denied, then of course it will be refunded. Entry and exit within the duration of stay. If you follow all the rules and regulations, your money would be refunded. No problem. They're not going to take it. No entry with the visa. So if you get the visa, but if you do not come to America, of course your money would be refunded. Also, conditions under which the bond is automatically canceled. By the way, bond is automatically canceled, meaning they're going to take the money, right? Let's say they initially set up $15,000 bond. You paid that bond. You came to America and you have overstayed. Like you stayed more than your authorized period. They're going to take that $15,000. They're not going to refund that money. Leaving the US after the authorized duration, applied for any non-immigrant status, including claiming asylum. If you do that, your money will be gone. Countries subject to visa bond. There's a lot of countries. Let me read it. Algeria, Angola, Antigua and Barbuda, Bangladesh, Benin, Bhutan, Botswana, Burundi, Cabo Verde, Central African Republic, Cape d'Ivory, Cuba, Djibouti, Dominica, Fiji, Gabon, the Gambia, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Kyrgyzstan, Namibia, Nepal, Nigeria, Sao Tome and Principe, Senegal, Tajikistan, Tanzania, Togo, Tonga, Turkmenistan, Tuvalu, Uganda, Vanuatu, Venezuela, Zambia, Zimbabwe. So those are the list of the countries. If you're from any of those countries, you're subject to this visa one. All right, that was my short presentation. This is the link for all of our social media. Please follow us. You'll get valuable information from us. And if you have any questions, we are going to answer your questions. But before that, going back to David.
Thank you, Mr. Mahajan. That was a very insightful session. So we did have a lot of people reach out to us regarding this B1 and B2 situation. A lot of people from those 75 countries. And thank you for sharing all this information. So, Mr. Mahajan, do you suggest we take a break or?
Yeah, let's take a quick break if we have. And if we do not have any, if our IT team is not ready, then we can directly, actually, let's go for question answer. Yeah, because.
Sure, so everyone will be back right after a short break. And we have a lot of questions that you'll see being answered by Mr. Mahajan himself. So please stay tuned. We'll be back shortly.
At Raju Law, we don't just provide legal services. We provide a pathway to your American dream. With offices in New York, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, Dhaka, and Dubai, our global team is dedicated to delivering personalized immigration solutions. Whether you are pursuing a green card or navigating complex immigration processes, we are here to guide you at every stage. With a team of 10 associate attorneys and more than 180 law clerks and case managers, we craft solutions tailored to your unique needs. Our technology-driven platform ensures the fastest, most efficient service, saving your time while upholding the highest standards of quality. At Raju Law, we believe in affordable, transparent pricing without compromising on service excellence. Raju Law, where your American dream meets expert legal support. Contact us today.
Thank you for staying tuned and welcome back, everyone. So, Mr. Mahajan, we have a lot of queries for you, and most of the queries seem to be very anxious as well, considering the recent developments of the B1 and B2 visa. So, shall we proceed with the questions?
Yeah, I see there are a few questions here. We can like a Redwanul Arifin. We can start from there and then we'll go for questions from our reserve. So Redwanul Arifin said, please speak about the immigrant visas. So immigrant visas are visas that will help you directly come to America with green card, like family-based application. When a U.S. citizen, they apply for their, spouse, children, parents, siblings. That's immigrant visas. Also, EB1, EB2, EB3, those are immigrant visas. So that's not the topic for our discussion today. We'll definitely have discussion on those topics sometime later. But yeah, thank you for raising this issue. We'll talk another day about those.
Thank you for that, Ms. Mahajan. So, yes, next one is from Mr. Halid.
Khalid, yeah, my wife have interviews on 2/2/26, I think February 26 in Bosnia for immigrant visa. Well, yeah, I don't know whether Bosnia is part of that list, visa pause for immigrant visa. I cannot remember at this moment. So if your wife's interview is in Bosnia in February 2nd, and if the Bosnia is part of that list, then she may not have the interview. Please reach out to the embassy and see if the interview is still scheduled properly. If not, then they will definitely let you know. But I cannot remember at this moment whether Bosnia is part of the country.
Okay, I hope that. Okay. The next question that we have is from Mr. Sadatuddin Ahmed.
Greetings. I would like to know if the bond amount is predetermined and applicable to all the applicants in a given country, or can be amount vary per applicant. It can be different. So it is not pre-amount. So the way it works is you will apply for B1, B2 visa like before. There's no change in your application. Once they take you in the interview, the officer will determine whether they are going to issue visa without any bond. Like they can still issue visa like a regular B1, B2 visa, no problem with that. However, the officer is like, no, I'm not sure whether I'll give you like regular B1, B2 visa. I want to give you a bond. Officer will decide at the time of your interview or even after your interview. And then not only officer will decide whether they are going to issue bond or not, they are going to also issue the amount. It can be 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, depending on your situation. And then officer will let you know whether they have determined about bond and what is the amount, and they will also send you a link to make the payment. Once officer let you know, then you make the payment. And even after you make the payment, you let them know, they may still refuse your visa. In that case, you will definitely get the money back, but that is a factor in considering your visa application. But short answer to your question, no, it's not predetermined. It's not fixed for the same country. Sorry, it's the same amount for every country. It's very subject to subject situation, case by case situation.
Thank you for making the answer so detailed and thorough, Mr. Mahajan. So I hope that clears it up for you, Mr. Sadatuddin. For further details, you can definitely reach out to us. Okay, Mr. Halid also gave us a thank you. Okay, so next is Mr. Monotosh Sarkar.
My parents is going to face B1, B2 visa in March. They are doing farming, not doing any jobs. How they gonna prepare for the interview? I am doing PhD here. So yes, if they're doing farming, not doing any job, the question is, are there, whether you own the land, how much is the annual income from your farming? Did they file taxes previously and show that, let's say, they make enough money in their farming business, and you doing PhD here, like when they visit here in America, how you're going to help them. So it depends. So what I would advise them, since they already have interview in March, I believe they already submitted the DS 160 form. Just stay, just focus on the information you already provided, and ask them to be like a very casual, very normal in their visa interview, and tell them everything honestly. They do not need to say anything that is not mentioned in DS 160 form. Do not tell any lie to the officer or anything, because U.S. government have all information. U.S. government knows pretty much everything. So please do not try to outsmart them, kind of thing. Otherwise, just go for the interview, tell everything properly, give them all answers honestly, and just hope for the best. That's it.
A very, very sound advice from Mr. Mahajan. Hope you appreciate it, Mr. Mantosh. So next is from Mr. Abul Hussein.
I said, Mr. Raju Mahajan, sir, I want to talk with you and get the service from your Dhaka center about non-immigrant visa. All right, so to talk to me, you can take appointment from the website directly. If you go to our website, there's a button for appointment. You can click it, make the payment. Everything is online. You even do not go to our Dhaka office. You can do everything online from your home. However, if you go to our Dhaka office or call them, they can also arrange. Process is the very much same thing. The only difference is if you do it by yourself, you will do it by yourself. But if you go to a Dhaka office or call them, they will do everything for you. But they will do the same thing through the website anyway. So yeah, either way, you can do that.
Thank you, Mr. Mahajan. So, Mr. Hassan, you're always welcome to come to our center or apply by yourself, whichever works for you. Okay, another thank you from Mr. Monotosh. So, we have answered, Mr. Mahajan has answered 4 questions so far. Mr. Mahajan, will we be taking any more questions?
Yes, let's go. If you have any reserved question from the database.
Yes. Okay, so moving on to one of those questions that we have got from our anxious clients. So first one is, how long does the B1, B2 visa application process typically take now?
It doesn't take a lot. Applying for B1, B2 is comparatively easy. It's a short process. You can do it very easily. The thing is, in most cases, people are not prepared. That's the thing. So let me give you an answer. Let's say you are a medical doctor in India. I'm just giving an example. Of course, you have a lot of information, a lot of credentials, a lot of everything being a doctor. But when you apply for B1, B2, they have a certain set of questions. They want a certain kind of document. So when a doctor comes to us and say, hey, I have everything. Well, you have everything being a doctor. It's information being a doctor, but you do not have everything for B1, B2 application. That's a different kind of information and document required. So people do not understand that thing. So if you literally have everything, then it will not take long time. However, I always tell my clients, please be prepared first. Make your case ready, then you apply. That will save your valuable time, money, and energy. Rather than just submitting application without properly, being ready, will just be waste of your time, money, and energy. Also, another important information about B1, B2, it is easy to apply, but it is really hard to get a visa interview because, as I said, people from all over the world, like millions of people, they apply for B1, B2 application. So visa officers in US embassies in foreign countries, they really struggle to make appointment for all these applications. So in many countries, there's like almost 1 year waiting period, even sometime even more, just to get the interview. Excuse me. Just keep in mind that submitting application and getting a visa interview is different. And usually getting a visa interview takes a way longer time compared to submitting application.
Okay. Okay. Another question from Mr. Monotosh Shorkar.
Is there any consultancy available for B1, B2? Well, so we submit applications, like we prepare applications, submit for our clients, but I believe you already did since you have a March application. So you can definitely reach out to any of our offices. That can be Dhaka office, New York, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, Los Angeles, and see what is the current status of your application. And if there's anything to do, we'll definitely like to help you. Of course, you have to pay us money. That's a different things. But yes, we can definitely, we have service available for B1, B2 applications.
We'll be glad to have you, Mr. Monotosh Shorkar. We do definitely provide all sort of consultancy regarding B1, B2, and more visa categories. So, Mr. Mahajan, should we go for, okay, another question from Mr. Farmin Valdez.
I am currently in USA on B1 visa. Is there any legal way to stay here by changing my status? Kindly let me know. Well, there are many options. The question is, which option is good for you? Like, if you are a student, you can definitely get admission to a university and change from B1 to F1. If you are an entrepreneur, you can apply for E2. If you are a, if you are a musician or other kind of artistic kind of person, there is a P category. So there's a lot of categories. The question is, which one is applicable to you? Are you able to meet all the requirements? So this is a very open-ended kind of question, so it's very difficult for me to answer. Short answer is yes, there are multiple options. The question is, which one is applicable to you?
I hope that answers your question, Mr. Farman Valdez. So, were we going to take any more questions, Mr. Mahajan?
Yeah, let's take, we'll do like a 10 more minutes. We'll try to finish in
10
like
more minutes.
11:45, yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. That would be very, very good for our audience. Okay, so the next question is, okay, can I extend my stay beyond 6 months?
Short answer is yes, you can, but you have to show reason beyond your control. So let's say you're very sick, you really cannot travel, or something happened to either your home country, so it's not safe for you to travel at this moment. But let's say there's a big natural disaster, earthquake or something happened, so you cannot travel at this moment, but like after 2-3 months you can definitely go back, kind of situation. So something happened beyond your control, that is that makes you unable to visit and travel at this moment. Those kind of situation, yes, you can apply for extension. In COVID time, we saw multiple extension. People got 2-3 times extended, but nowadays it's difficult, but it is possible.
Thank you for the answer again, Mr. Mahajan. Moving on, I hope that question is also cleared. Okay, next one is, can I change my B1, B2 visa to another visa category while in the US?
Yes, you can. Of course, there are multiple options. The question is, which one is good for you?
Okay, great. Okay, then another question. Do I need travel insurance for my B1, B2 visa trip?
It is not required, but I highly, highly recommend it. Any kind of insurance, travel health insurance, or any kind of travel insurance is good because it shows that you're a really careful person. And also you are capable of paying money. It is good for U.S. business. It's good for in every direction. So yes, even though it's not mandatory, but I highly recommend you to buy insurance before traveling.
So, thank you, Mr. Mahajan. And okay, since we're going on for 10 more minutes, then another question is, if I apply individually for my B1, B2 visa, how much should my bank statement show?
There is no fixed amount. There is no magic number. The more, the merrier. And also, it depends on your purpose. So let's say, as I said, if you're a doctor, if you're an engineer, if you're a businessman, depending on your profession. On the other hand, let's say you are a student, you do not have any job or anything, but if you have like a lot of money in your bank account, that may raise another concern, like where the money came from, right?
Yeah,
So anything that is logical, reasonable for your profession, your background, that is good.
Right. Okay, that I hope that clears up as well. So moving on, another few more questions we do have. How soon can I reapply if my visa is denied?
You can apply immediately, but my advice would be, before reapplication, please try to find out what went wrong in your previous application, why they are denying. Try to understand. And if you cannot understand, like if you have no idea why they denied, there is application, it's called FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. Under FOIA, you can request for all the information they have about you, like your copy of your background check, copy of the officer they took note at the time of the interview. You can also request for that copy. Try your best to understand why your visa was refused or rejected. Try to fix that problem, and then you reapply again. Because if you do not fix the problem and keep reapplying and reapplying and reapplying, you are going to get the same result, right? So instead of just keep applying, try to find the problem, fix it, and then apply. That would be best use of your time, money, and energy.
Thank you for the very detailed answer, Mr. Mahajan. Oh, another question from Ms. Maria Chaudhary.
One of my friend asked, he wants to apply EB-2NIW. On the other hand, his office applied for his I-140. Does it make any effect if he apply for I-485? Well, no. If his office applied for I-485, meaning he already have a I-140 approved, and then his I-485 is also submitted. So there is no reason for him to apply for a EB2 NIW. I don't understand why he's trying to apply NIW at this moment. He already has the I-140 approved and 485 pending. He's good to go. But if he really wants to apply NIW, first I need to know why he's thinking of doing that, and what is the situation. And based on that, I may advise. But the information you provided, Ms. Chaudhary, in my opinion, he doesn't need to apply for another NIW.
I hope that clears it up as well, Miss Maria. So next question. Okay. So the next question will be, can I apply for a B1 or B2 visa if I have a pending or approved immigration petition?
Well, if you already have a approved immigration petition, depending on what stage you are in, if you everything is done, you already have the visa, then you do not need a B1 B2. You can directly come with a green card. But if you see that you have a long way to go, just I-130 got approved, yes, you can definitely apply for B1 B2. There is no problem. But please mention about the presence of this immigrant visa petition, because officer will know everything by themselves. So it's always advisable to disclose all the situation to the officer, so that they know that you're an honest person, you are genuine about your everything. And in the interview, if the officer says, hey, I see that you have already approved immigrant petition, why you are applying for a non-immigrant application, you will say, well, it will take long time for me to go to America with a green card. Now I'm going to America for this short purpose, like a temporary purpose. It can be education, it can be visit, other thing. I'm going there for like few weeks or few months. So this is for the short visit. The immigrant petition, that may take some time, so I cannot wait for that. But please clear your intent. The purpose of your visit is for short visit. It's not that you're going to America, stay there, and down the line you are going to adjust your status. If you say that, officer will definitely refuse your application, because that will that will fall within the ground of 214B, like the insufficient information for non-immigrant intent. So please do not say that. Otherwise, yes, you can definitely apply for visit visa.
A very good answer, Mr. Mahajan. I think many people were not normally aware about this situation. They do have this question frequently, and I think that also cleared it up for them. Thank you for being so detailed and sharing tips and tricks that people would otherwise not be aware of. Okay. Another big question from Mr. Abul Hussain.
Yeah, let me read. Sir, I have applied for a workshop at the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. They informed me that they will notify the selected participants in March. The workshop is scheduled to be held in July 2026. If I am selected in March, will it be possible to get an early visa appointment for travel in July? Additionally, I would like to mention that my previous B1 B2 visa application was refused once last December. At that time, my stated purpose of travel was to visit the Library of Congress. So, in that case, what I would advise you is apply for B1 B2 as soon as possible. And then, once you get selected by Library of Congress in March, you apply for an emergency appointment. They have an option for emergency appointment. Of course, they can decline based on your application. But so let's go forward with this way. First, you apply for a B1 B2 application, fill up DOS 160 form, submit to embassy as soon as possible. If you are selected in March, apply for a emergency appointment. Explain that, hey, my scheduled visit in July, I really cannot wait one more year. And then they may call you for an emergency visit if they are convinced. If you pass that interview, if you get the visa, then you can come to America. But since you have a one denial in the past, they will try to see why they refused in the past, and that may affect or not, depending on the situation. But I think you should go forward with this.
A very difficult situation, Mr. Abul is in, but I hope that clears it up for you. Okay. Again, Mr. Okay, I think that's the
Sir,
same.
I think the same question.
It's the same question. Yes.
Same question. Yeah.
Okay, I think Mr. Abu was about to give a follow-up question, but I think he gave the same question again.
Yeah.
So Mr. Mahajan, shall we wait for his follow-up question or?
If you have any other questions, let's answer one or two, and then we'll finish our session today.
Right. Okay, we do have some more questions. So, what if I lose my passport with a valid B1, B2 visa?
Can you please say that again?
Yes, definitely. So the next question is, what if I lose my passport with a valid B1, B2 visa?
Rose.
What if I lose? If he loses his
Oh,
passport?
lose. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
lose,
Sorry.
yeah.
So yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
Sorry
if
about
you
that.
already lost the passport, you can definitely get a new passport from your country of origin, and then you can apply to the embassy, U.S. embassy, and say that, hey, I lost my visa, I lost my passport, and of course in the passport the visa was there. If you have a photocopy, that will help you for embassy to easily locate and reprint it. In most cases they will reprint it and reissue you the visa, but they may also refuse to do that based on the recently available information. So short answer to the question is, first get a new passport, let the US embassy know about the that you lost the passport and visa, and they may reprint the visa and put it in a passport.
That's a wonderful answer as well. So I hope that clears it up as well. And finally, one more question that we'll be attending today, that is, do I need an invitation letter for a B2 visa?
You don't need it, but if you can get a invitation letter from an authority that is a genuine and good authority, and that has connection with your background, that is definitely going to help you. For example, let's say you are an architect in your home country and you get invitation from a architecture firm here in America, or some conference or something, that is really going to help you. It's not mandatory, but it is really going to help you.
Thank you for your answer, Mr. Mahajan. So we have answered more than 10 questions. I believe that was a lot for today, considering what is going on with the B1, B2 visas and the uncertainties that is going on around it. So thank you very much for your time, Mr. Mahajan. You have shared insights that would otherwise never be found in common places. So thank you very much for your time and sharing your tips and tricks with us today about the B1 and B2 visa.
Yeah. Thank you very much again, and I'll see everyone next Monday.
Yes, stay tuned, everyone. So before we close today's session, let's take a quick look at the latest immigration news update for this week. And I'm your host, David Asnamothikere. I'm signing off for today. Thank you for having us. And
hi everyone, welcome to this week's immigration update from Raju Law. We bring you the latest news, USCIS updates, and policy changes that matter. This week's top stories include: US halts immigrant visa processing for 75 countries. February 2026 visa bulletin shows limited green card movement. USCIS premium processing fees to increase March 1st, 2026. US records negative net migration for first time in 50 years. Let's start with a major visa processing update. The Trump administration will pause immigrant visa processing for nationals of 75 countries starting January 21. The suspension applies to family and employment-based immigrant visas processed abroad, but does not affect tourist, student, or business visas. The State Department says the pause will stay in place while screening procedures are reviewed, with no restart date announced. Next, an update on green card priority dates. The Department of State released the February 2026 visa bulletin showing limited movement overall. USCIS will require applicants in the US to use the dates for filing chart. Family-based F2A advanced 1 month worldwide, while EB3 moved forward 3 months for most countries. EB1 experienced a slight setback for China and India. Now an important fee update from USCIS. DHS has finalized a rule raising USCIS premium processing fees effective March 1st, 2026. The increase reflects inflation and applies to H-1B, L-1, O-1, employment-based green cards, and certain student benefits. USCIS says the adjustment will help maintain faster processing times. Finally, a major shift in migration trends. A new Brookings report shows the US experienced negative net migration in 2025 for the first time in over 50 years. The decline is mainly due to fewer arrivals linked to reduced visas and humanitarian programs. Experts warn this could slow economic growth in the coming years. That wraps up this week's immigration updates. Stay connected with Raju Law for more news, insights, and guidance. See you next week with the latest developments in US immigration.